Hello there, welcome back to Cinema Flicks Music Picks. I'm Davey, your host with the most, the beast with the least. Well, the very least I can do today is another album review of one of this week's releases, and it is Boygenius, the record. Although you wouldn't know that from the front, where it doesn't say anything of the sort. It's Boygenius, the record. Hype sticker on the verse with the ladies themselves, or however they identify. I'm terribly sorry if I butchered that. So yes, Boygenius, the record. So it'd be rude to buy this on CD when they're calling it a record, for goodness sake. On retailer exclusive limited edition beige swirl vinyl. We'll have a look at that in a minute. Beige, remember that, beige. And you also get a little tooth tattoo, in case you want to recreate. I suppose it was easier to do that tattoo than all of them. So yeah, I love that. I wish they'd use that as the cover actually. That's a great picture. And then terrific shot on the gatefold of the girls with credits in there. Yeah. So self-produced. Had an EP in 2018. First of all, I should probably establish who they bloody are if you don't know. Supergroup of sorts. Had an EP in 2018. For me, the new Crosby, Stills and Nash. Don't tell anybody, that's a bit hyperbolic, but still, this is the level of talent I think these folks have. So it's Julien Baker, Phoebe Bridgers, and Dacus. That'll do. That's a songwriting trio, that's a singer trio, that's a performing trio. That'll do. So yeah, Boygenius. I'm just going to run through the tracks. Easiest way to do it. So, Without You, Without Them starts just like the debut EP ended 5 years ago, with an a cappella track. Very Carter family-like. It sounds like it should be on the Oh Brother Where Art Thou soundtrack or something. Gorgeous stuff. Speak to me till your history's no mystery. Lovely setup. But then it throws you straight in to a trilogy almost, where each member gets to do a track in their own quite distinctive style, which is a brilliant way of going about things. So they bring their style with the other two incorporating into that. So it's not just a solo track with some harmonies from them, it's kind of, they're the main ingredient, whoever it is, and then the other two will kind of add some seasoning on top. It's just brilliant the way it works out. So $20 is Julien Baker's first track. It's almost got kind of post-punk guitar feel to it. Very typical of her style. It's about the struggles of modern day living for millennials and whatnot, and how people think we don't have struggles, but everybody's got struggles. Everybody. And Phoebe comes in to do the screams on the outro, and I mean screams. I'm not saying she sings a bit like she screams. There's actual screams there. Turns it into a grunge song for a few seconds. It's fantastic. A song of sorrow and anger at the same time. It's like a righteous anger. A real wall of sound of vocals. Emily, I'm Sorry is Phoebe's track, Phoebe Bridgers. And likewise, it's very much recognisable as a Phoebe Bridgers song. It could be on Punisher, her album from a few years ago. Very mournful, very lost sounding. Her version of Lost is that she knows she won't be found again. It's very distinctive. It's acoustic, it's soft. I'm 27 and I don't know who I am, but I know what I want. Emily, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And at this point I should address all three of the ladies do identify as not lesbian but queer. And on a lot of these tracks, almost all of these tracks, there's a nod to that. They are very specific with their pronouns and refer to themselves as men a few times to make it, play around with the format. And why not? I've never understood this. Or why can't a guy sing a woman's lyric or reverse? It never made sense to me. It's You're just playing a part if you're covering someone else's song. But in this case, they're writing their own lives. So I really appreciate that. So 3 kindred spirits, but 3 unique ones in their own right. True Blue. So we've had Julien and Phoebe. So now it's obviously time for Lucy to do her track. True Blue, nothing like the Madonna song. Themes that, again, Lucy's focused on many times: bad relationships, how to make connections in the modern world. It's very dense, very layered, but it's not going for any one instrument standing out. It's not that kind of thing. It's very, very stacked in a kind of Daniel Lanois production kind of way. Think of like Dylan's Most of the Time. And that's kind of what it's like. Some of her lyrics. Lucy is one of my favourite lyricists on earth. You say you're a winter bitch, but summer's in your blood has to be a standout line. But the chorus of it feels so good to be known so well. I can't hide from you like I hide from myself. I remember who I am only when I'm with you. Your love is tough, your love is tried, and true blue. She's wonderful. They're all great. You can tell where this review is going. Cool about it, gorgeous folk track, another pure folky track, acoustic guitar and banjo been added into the mix. All about the vocals on that though. The banjo and the acoustic guitar are very much just to complement the vocals. It's about the ladies taking centre stage. Wonderfully, they do a verse each. The chorus is one of those that's kind of incorporated into the verse. There's not really a bridge to it. It jumps straight in as part of it. And they all get to sing on variations on a theme. So all 3 verses, sung by each of them individually, are about meeting an ex. All of them, but they all write it from a completely different perspective. One of them reflects on that. I remember I used to take my ex's medication just so I could know how they felt. One of them remembers being embarrassed by their ex at a party. You know, so it's variations on a theme. It is 3 people who've been through the same thing, but all coming at it from a different point of view. And boy, doesn't that just sum this record up. Not strong enough. Phoebe starts with some cool stuff in here. A line like, I don't know why I am the way I am, not strong enough to be your man. Again, going back to the gender identity thing. Nods to The Cure, both in lyrics and in guitar. When they mention, I won't spoil it, but they mention a certain Cure song, and then about 40 seconds later, the guitar part from that Cure song kind of comes in for a few seconds as a kind of playful nod to it, which it's not an obscure Cure song. You will know it the second you hear it, trust me. I thought that was wonderfully playful. When the second half of the tracks hits in, the synths are fantastic throughout it, but then they just get godlike. And there's a refrain that's repeated over and over again towards the end. Always an angel, never a god. Always an angel, never a god. Over and over. You'll be singing that for about an hour after this record's finished. It's so catchy. An emotional peak. It's an emotional peak. There's a catharsis in it and a delicacy in it. They're all on top of their game here. It's so good. Revolution, or Revolution Zero as it's billed, is a Phoebe track. Gorgeous, slow, low-key acoustic, with a line like, I don't want to die, that's a lie, but I don't want to get sick. I don't know what that is. Wow, that's quite for a younger lady, that's quite a lyric, isn't it? And she comes back to different kind of thoughts, stream of consciousness but they're it's almost like every thought is fully developed, but it doesn't relate to the next thought. So it's almost like we're jumping around her scrambled brain as she's trying to get to sleep at night. But each thought is developed because she's that good. But then it just has nothing to do with the next thought. But then it ends with a series of as if she's run out of things to think about. So it's just But what a lovely touch. But when she's doing that's when this beautiful string section comes on. Gorgeous stuff, absolutely gorgeous. Just kind of lifts it from being another kind of more acoustic bass track. You go, oh, cool, that's just a really nice addition to stick a whole string section on. That's fantastic. Gives it a real heft, a real emotional weight. Leonard Cohen, the shortest track in the album, was written by Lucy. It's fun, but it's also wistful at the same time. Again, Lucy. I would struggle to say her name because it's Lucy Dacus. It feels fun, but also with a hint of melancholy to come, because she's such a great writer that she can kind of hint towards, even when you're having a good time, that things aren't going to last that way. She's so adept to that kind of thing. She sings, it's a wonderful story song. She sings about her partner saying to her, if you love me, you'll listen to this song when they're driving. And Lucy is so intent on the love that she doesn't interrupt the song, even though she knows they're driving the wrong way and they've missed a cut off and it's going to cost them an hour's drive to get back again. How wonderful is that? You felt like an idiot adding an hour to the drive, but it gave us more time to embarrass ourselves, telling stories we wouldn't tell anyone else. And then this is where again she can hint at the bad times that might be around the corner. And then you said, I might like you less now that you know me so well. That's a line. But then she follows that up with, and you're wondering why it's called Leonard Cohen. Leonard Cohen once said, there's a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in. But I'm not an old man having an existential crisis at a Buddhist monastery writing horny poetry, though I agree. Lucy, you need to write a book. You need to write films. You need to be a journalist. You need to be writing constantly. You are a genius lyricist. That's not to put down Julien and Phoebe, but Lucy is just god tier genius when it comes to lyrics. Satanist, speaking of the other two ladies, is Phoebe and Julien. And it's very literate too, and it's very alt rock feel, goes much heavier than most of the records. Will you be a Satanist with me is going to be one of the cool opening lines to a track. And then, will you be an anarchist with me, sleep in cars and kill the bourgeoisie? Yeah. And then what a stanza this is. Solomon had a point when he wrote Ecclesiastes. If nothing can be known, then stupidity is holy. If the void becomes a bore, let's treat ourselves to some self-belief. I think they're coming up to God tier now. That is just phenomenal stuff. What a track Satanist is too. As always, I'm going to stick some tracks in the comment section below, folks. So check those out if you're unfamiliar. We're in Love is a Lucy solo track again, pure Lucy. Light piano with the guitar barely audible. It could be a cappella, but there's just enough instrumentation to not be stunningly vulnerable. The lines again, some October in the future, I'll run out of trash TV and I'll be feeling lonely and I'll walk to karaoke, sing the song you wrote about me, never once checking the words. I hope that no one sings along. I hope that I'm not a regular. Gosh, that one breaks my heart. Damn, does that make me sad. It doesn't have to be like that. If you rewrite your life, may I still play a part? In the next life, will you find me? I'll be the boy with the pink carnation pinned to my lapel, who looks like hell and asks for help. And if you do, I'll know it's you. God tier. Lucy. Fantastic. Anti-Curse is a Julien Baker track. Brilliant, pained, stomp rocker. She's so wonderful at evoking imagery. Sometimes with just a word or a phrase that hits hard, or she doesn't need to be as literate as Lucy or Phoebe with references and big ideas and massive thoughts. She's much better at universal themes, much better at that kind of thing. There We Were, Was Anyone Ever So Young? breaking curfew with illegal fireworks, unpacking God in the suburbs. Yeah, again, universal themes that we all know about. Were we ever that young? Who hasn't asked themselves that? I mean, you see kids out and like think, God, I'm 20 years older than them now, and they're nearly old enough to own a house. Last track, Letter to an Old Poet, Phoebe's track. You said my music is mellow, maybe I'm just exhausted. Wow, line and a half. And it sounds that way in the track. She's almost sighing out the vocals at points. It's like she's barely able to keep it together to do that. It's about reclaiming what was taken from you in a dominating relationship. And with this amazing stanza, you're not special, you're evil. You don't get to tell me to calm down. You make me feel like an equal, but I'm better than you. And you should know that by now. That is the ultimate bye Felicia, and resolves all the conflicts of the album that we've heard to this point. Now we know from Lucy's tracks that some things are always going to be in the horizon, that's the way life is, but some battles can be won even if you know the war's still going to be going on. Oh, it's so wonderful. This is 12 tracks long, and all 12 tracks are keepers. There's not a dud on it. There's nothing even approaching mediocre, never mind a dud. This is clearly album of the year material. You will hear about this album again, I have absolutely zero doubts. And on this version you get a little, instead of just giving you a booklet, like 4-page thing, they give you like an old school like zine, as if it's been done at home, with fake sellotape and stuff. And that's how you get loads of lyrics and imagery and things, which is really cool, really nifty. I like this idea. It's very homespun and with loads of things just sprawled like that. I'm 27 and I don't know who I am. Yeah, again, a line that I pulled from it. And the only thing is, you are going to have to try and decipher some of the script, which not many people read cursive very well anymore. It's kind of lost art with so many people typing. But it's all in their own individual hands, so you can tell the difference between them as well. It's quite wonderful. So you get the idea. In another life, we were arsonists. Yeah. I won't go through everything, but this is just... Anyway, remember, I teased you with that. The beige vinyl. Now I hope the lighting here is a bit overbearing, but this is... I don't think the good folks who put it out, PVC under contract to Interscope. I don't think the good folks at Interscope have ever seen the colour beige before, because even on there, this is clearly a very pop candy floss pink, and in no way, shape or form is that beige. If my granny had asked the painters to come in and paint her house beige and they did this, she would have cut their knackers off. Yeah, who cares though? That's just a bit of fun. I like a misplaced pick when it comes to the choice of vinyl colour. It'd almost be boring if it was beige. So what? Might as well be something interesting by being completely not what it advertises itself to be. Anyways, I know I've been gushing for nearly 20 minutes, but that's because this is album of the year material, and buy it. If you don't have the money to buy it, steal some money. I don't usually advocate this thing. Steal some money, and I don't care if it's from a pensioner, an old couple, anything, life savings, or steal it directly from the shops. I don't care. Just get yourself a copy of this. This is fantastic stuff. Or stream it, I suppose, but hey, theft's always more fun. Anyways, thank you very much for your attention, and let me know what you think. Comments, complaints, suggestions, as usual, stick them below. Anything else? No. Hey. Folks, stay very safe out there, as always. Till next time, love and indeed mercy.